Signs that God is trying to tell you something. You are out there, you are learning to hear God. One of those things I'll be teaching you on this channel, how to hear God clearly and fluently. Now you are learning to hear God, and people hear God in several ways. You can hear Him through the Word. You can hear Him even audibly from in your ear, and you can even hear Him through an impression in your heart, and you can even hear Him through some feelings, okay, or some kind of prompting. Let me use that word, prompting. And there are several ways that God can talk to someone, and it now depends on how you yield, and depends on how you recognize that is it God telling me. Now today I want to tell you some signs that people don't really look at when God is trying to tell them something. One thing is that when you keep seeing a particular sentence all the time, coming up in your mind, popping up in your head, popping up in your mind, it's trying to tell you that God is telling you something, and it's time for you to decode and understand what God is trying to tell you. Like I said before, that God speaks in diverse ways. Now, what is that sentence that comes up in your mind? Or probably you have been asking God for direction over a particular issue, over a particular situation, and you don't even know, you've not received answers to it. Now, how do you know that God is telling you something about that issue? When a particular sentence pop up in your mind, now it could not be your mind alone, it could pop up even on the TV. You are watching the TV and the sentence again come in. Might not be a sentence, it could be a word, a phrase similar to what you have been hearing. It could be on the radio, it could be on the television, it could be during conversation with friends. It might not be friends with you directly, people might be in one corner or in a place where you are, and they keep discussing, that thing pops up in their conversation, and you are asking yourself, why is this thing coming again? God is trying to tell you something. So you have to be very, very, very sensitive whenever you are learning to hear God. Another thing, the sign to show that God is telling you something. Another thing is that God gets your attention through trials, through problems. Many people go through problems. Many people go through challenges, not because devil is afflicting them. God actually permits them so that He can get their attention. Now, when He gets their attention, He will tell them that this is what I want to do with you. Many people go through problems in life, but they don't know why they are going through that problems. Yes, as you're watching me right now, you cannot even explain why you are going through that problem. You have been praying, you have been asking God what is going on, but you cannot seem to get answers to that problem. Okay, now it is time for you to go back to God. Why? Because God actually wants to tell you something. It is time for you to yield and listen to His call. The reason is because He's trying to tell you something, and He wants your attention. The world is so busy, our mind is busy, the world is full of distractions. The world is full of voices. The world is full of evil. Lots of voices in our head, around us, in our workplace, even in the church of God. Even where we say we go to church, our mind is distracted. Lots of voices pops up in our head. Lots of voices pops up in our mind. But God, in a way, draw us closer to Himself by releasing or permitting some trials or challenges. And when we go back to Him, that is when He's able to tell us whatever He wants to tell us. So another one is that God gets your attention through trials. Another sign that God is actually telling you something. Confirmation from people around. Yeah, you have Christian friends around, and they come and tell you that this is what God is saying. Perhaps you might have seen it in your dream, perhaps you might have heard it, perhaps God might have dropped it in your heart, you might have heard it, but you are still not convinced that it is God talking. Now, another person, another Christian friend, another man of God, woman of God, or anybody might come around and tell you the same thing. Now, this is a confirmation message that God is actually saying that thing. Many people live in fear whenever they hear a word and they feel that is it God talking? I'm not sure. I need a confirmation. You remember Gideon? Actually, God told him I will be the one to deliver His people, and he's still wondering, could it be God? I need a sign. I need a confirmation. God, He gave confirmation. Say, God, give me confirmation several times, and actually, God gave him confirmation. And you may ask yourself, is it God? That is why that's why I said, in the process of learning to hear God, there are times you just want to have a confirmation. Is it God telling me this? Yes. So another sign that God is telling you something that you need to yield is when you have confirmation from people. Now another thing is that when you want to know that sign that God is telling you something is that when you lack peace over an issue, when you have an issue around, or you want to take a decision, you want to make a choice, but you don't have a peace, your mind is not at peace. It happens to me. Yeah, even if you're watching me right now, it might have happened to you in the past, that you try to make a decision over a matter, you try to uh, um make a choice, but instantly you lose your peace. It could be in terms of marriage, it could be probably venturing into a business, but all of a sudden you lose your peace. So God is trying to tell you something, that you need to make your findings very well, you need to seek his face very well before making that decision. Okay, even choosing friends, sometimes you need to trust God. Everybody cannot be your friend, because there are some people that once they come in contact with you, once they journey with you in life, it can cause lots of disruption in God's plan for your life. So whenever you lose an issue over a particular matter, then God is trying to tell you something. Now another one is that when you see, many people attend different ministries, many people you listen to online, many men of God you listen to online, as a child of God, as a born again Christian, even not all men of God I listen to their messages, but there are some people that actually contribute to the growth, my growth. There are people that has actually blessed my soul, that has helped me in my journey with God. And when a particular ministry sparks up your mind, it's trying to tell you that God is trying to tell you something through that ministry. Which means, let me give you an instance. Many people might be saying, okay, who do you want? We might be praying to God that who do you want me to listen more to? There are some people that has been asking God that, which man of God should I listen to more that will contribute to my journey, my growth in you? You might be asking God all those questions. When you now see a particular ministry, when you listen to it and it contributed so much to your spirit, it elevated your spirit man, and you see yourself spark up your spirit man, then it's trying to tell you that God is involved. God is telling you that you need to watch out for this and divert your attention to this ministry and listen more of this man of God. That is why as a child of God, you need spirit of discernment to help you discern. It's not everyone you listen to. It's not a lot of heresy over the internet right now, lot of things that you will hear and you ask, where is this coming from? But you just need the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you as you learn in your journey to learn God. So follow me for more videos. So over time I'll be sharing with you how you can learn to hear God clearly. Why? Because it's a priceless gift. It's something that God really wants for every child of God to be able to hear him, not only hear him but obey him. Now this will make God speak to you more. You hear God, you obey God, and you definitely receive more from God. Thank you for joining Spirit Leads today. God bless you.